You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to... we're live. Yep, we got... Is it working?
How much more live you want to be,
Oh,
Rodney?
am I live? Oh, I couldn't hear myself, man.
How much more
Maybe
live
if I speak into the mic here. Let me do
want to
this.
be?
How we doing? Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach He's in Crime.
You looking good?
Thank you, brother. I try to...
Feeling
I'd like to say I lost...
Equally gunny?
Well, yeah. Equal gun rights, man.
Equally gunny.
Over my cold dead body. What do they say? How to pry it out of my cold dead fingers. Something like that. Michael the Man Coy, how are you, brother?
I'm good. Excited to catch up. I have not been able to catch up. I know there's things that I don't even have any clue of what happened last week with you.
We may have went lobstering. It was mini lobster season that we spoke a little bit about.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, I enjoyed last week's show because last week you were in the Keys the same time.
Exactly right. You actually got to watch the sunset.
Technically, it went well, but it was good. You were relaxed and very engaging to hang out with. So
Yeah, it was
nice.
It was different. You know what? It was different. Not being in the studio with you, man, I kind of missed you. I was like, oh, man, I kind of missed Mike.
It's different. It
But
was nice.
When I was explaining to everybody, we're going to get into everybody I met and all the stuff we did. I was explaining what we had here in the studio, and it's hard to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're surrounded. You look like you're in a cockpit of a 787.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a 787. This is our 787 right here.
We invented this 87.
Yes, we did. And you're navigating the plane from this direction. So
Yeah, I think we're doing well. There's been some updates, and we know that's always a little bit of
yes, a little bit of it's shaky grounds.
It's shaky
at
ground.
best.
It's
Yeah, sometimes when we get an update, it doesn't
Test pilot
jive
mode.
with all the other updates that's updating. So
test pilot mode, but so far so good, and
it's amazing.
making some changes, but only for the better.
So if you're hanging out with us tonight, you're hanging out with Rodney Rogers Outdoors, you can give us a call, 262-345-7763. This is mine and Mike's 1 hour vacation in the week. We love this 1 hour. It's our favorite hour of the week. Well, there may be more favorite hours, but this one is a really cool hour. You can text us right there at that 262-345-7763. I'm looking at Shane right now saying hello. What up, Shane? You can also message us on Facebook. Shoot us right on Facebook. You can also see us live on YouTube. I mean, we're everywhere. You just sign on the internet, poof, and we'll pop up. Type in Rodney Rogers Outdoors, and we should have 100 live feeds from every
Matter of fact,
direction.
go open your front door right now. Rodney's probably standing
I'm
right there.
standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
Stairs.
Dress appropriately.
to the peephole.
Dress appropriately.
Dress appropriately. Mike, what a week, man. I don't even know where to start.
Okay.
Where do we start? Okay. So the video you saw in the beginning was us on the dive boat.
Outbound, right?
Outbound. We were outbound.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning which is the beginning of lobsters. They start lobster season at 12:01 midnight. I don't know why, because you can't hunt lobster at night.
Interesting.
You can't. It's illegal.
And
So-
I must point out that this was lobster mini season, not mini lobster season.
There were some mini lobsters down here,
Okay.
by the way.
Okay.
This was lobster mini season. So basically what this is the recreational 2 days before the main lobster season when they dump out 18,000 commercial crab traps and you don't have a chance to get any kind of lobster. You do have a chance, but there's a lot of small
really?
lobsters out there. Yeah, I mean, as you drive down the road, there's just lobsters just lined up down the road. So the commercial just... I'm a recreational guy.
Sure.
I just see bad in all the commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Because lobster's not one of my favorite things to eat. You know what I mean? It's just not. I like it, but it's
So many people say that, though.
I could leave it,
including
man.
myself.
I mean, of course we cooked lobster while we were down there. Well, let's get into this, man.
do it.
So first of all, I want to thank Lisa. I met a ton of great people down there. I met some new people. Anytime you have something in common with new people, man, you start out basically as family. You know what I mean? And last week's show, I literally met most of these people literally 5 minutes before we started the show, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't want it any other way.
Awesome. Absolutely. And right away, like that picture of Greg's lobster, that big lobster, that I met Greg 10 minutes before that. We're already talking. He's showing me pictures of lobsters.
Cool.
I'm downloading them on my phone. I'm taking off, and he's on the show that quick. I mean, that's how awesome these people were. I mean, not only were they great outdoors, what's the word I'm looking for when you're in outdoors? Not a scholar, but
hobo?
When you're in outdoors, a person who enjoys it, aficionado, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's a huge word for me, dog.
We need to find that word.
So
it's probably not hobo.
When you, it's
probably not hobo.
It's the opposite of hobo.
Okay,
Yeah, it's the opposite. They were offshore fishermen. They were, they were all divers. I mean, everybody, the whole family were divers.
That was cool.
I mean, we had a boat full of family divers, and bro, that was the ultimate cool. You pull your family together like that and say, hey, let's go down 40 feet underwater together.
Nicely done.
You got all the family, certified. I think it's a requisition. I think if you're in their family and you're not certified, you got to go. I think they actually boot you out of the family, and they find friends that actually dive, and they go, okay, you're new family. You're replacing the old family. So we met a lot of people. I got to stay in John and Kelly's house. Thank you so much, and John and Ryan's. And
so that was their house. It wasn't a rental. That was their house.
Well, we went. We came back up to Miami and stayed with them for a night. Went offshore, did some snorkeling out there in the Keys, just past Key Biscayne. He's naming all the Keys, and I'm clueless because I ain't never been on that end of the world.
Gotcha.
But in the Keys, man, we went through. My gosh. One day we went through 4 tanks. One day we went through 5 tanks. If there was extra tanks, we'd go in and we'd just use up all the air. If anybody had 5 pounds of air left.
Wow.
One of the cool things, we're on the dive boat, and they didn't want you coming in with less than 300 pounds of air.
Sure. Well,
all of us were like buddy breathing. I mean, we came up with our tanks literally just imploded like a beer can. We done sucked the air out of it. We were tapping the bottoms for air, That's
hilarious.
And when we come up, he would get a reading. And he was like, okay, where are you at? When we started, I'd go 3,100 pounds. Everybody'd call out their air. And he go, when we got back, we were like, uh-oh. I mean, we're like, these bottles won't even fart, man. You turn them on. You don't even get air. None of that. You open it wide open. No. So he'd go, air. I love it. We're all going 500, 500. Everybody's a 500, They were upset if we went below the 300 mark. So, I mean, it was just an absolute awesome trip. The first day we found 48 lobsters.
Wow.
Second day we didn't do so well. I mean, we went to some new spots. The best spot was the last spot we went to, and we started finding lobsters again. So, I mean, you just never know. You know what I mean? Lobsters, this is like fishing. You never know what you're going to get.
Now, whose truck was this that was full of lobster?
That was a tote. That was the first day's tote. Okay. So what you see there is tote in ice water. There's about 48 lobsters there. Biggest one was a little over 2 pounds. So we had some absolute decent lobsters. Wow. So, yeah. And again, I think I said last week, you want to pay attention because we had a measuring tool that was an 1/8 inch longer than it. So it was 3 and an 1/8 inch. So it would actually slide over a 3-inch lobster. We had the one of the staff, one of the hands, tossing over legal lobsters, and man, I just got bent out of shape, bro. I worked hard for that lobster. I had to hold my breath for that lobster. So John's looking at me, and I'm looking at John. I'm like, hey, you put that lobster back, man. Put it back. Yep. Go get it. That's so, we had an absolute blast. I saw my first Spanish lobster. Which is a black and white spotted lobster, man. It's a really cool, absolutely cool lobster. And I didn't even want to tell John while I was down there, but I had read something where they were protected. But they were protected in certain areas. Okay. So I found a cave full of them, and I didn't think I could keep them when, in fact, I could. So, John, don't kill me. He'll probably text me right now and say, you dirty dog. Because John, I tossed, he got up there, he had it, and I said, that's illegal. He tossed it but without even taking a picture. He just flicked it overboard. So, John, I apologize. That is my bad. I need to read the rules a little better. those guys just started stacking lobsters up on me.
Where were you guys buying those lobster hats? I thought everybody had those things.
Yes, with live lobsters on them. They were standard issue. Look at the antennas on that thing. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So but I can't even tell. We would dive a site, come up, go to another site, dive, come up, go get our tanks refilled, go back out, dive a site. And, I mean, we'd do 4 sites a day. And then we'd run 1 tank per site. So, and I'll tell you, John, who, him and his wife organized this whole trip, he could smell lobsters, dude. I'm telling you, this guy just look around like a wolf or a lion and just put his, snorkel up in the air and just,
really,
he could smell these lobsters. I mean, he would just swim and just point to a rock, and you'd get under there, and there'd be a lobster under, and you'd just tickle this lobster out of there. And his friends, a matter of fact, the lobster you're seeing right now is actually a lobster that it was too small, but he came out from under a rock, and I was like, this is the one time I got my GoPro to work. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but I couldn't get my GoPro to work. So here it is on video. John, I was following John. We were, it was an extra tank of air we had. So I had tickled out 4 lobsters that John was pointing out. So here I am just trying to film this thing, and I want to tickle it in the bag and basically show you how to tickle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just how to tickle 101.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing now is the lobster actually putting his antennas up to block me because they got all the spikes are facing toward me, so you can't reach in at him.
Sure.
So basically, I put the GoPro right on the tickle stick, and I tickled this little fella right in the, this is just light touches. You don't have to push him.
Yeah.
Just give him a little touch here and there, and you can just guide him right in. And then you see him shooting by my head there, and that's because he was a small lobster. He was just, he wasn't a legal lobster, or I would have folded that net over on the ground. It would have been a whole different operation. So, but that was, John and I were running around, and he was, he's like a duck-billed platypus just under every rock.
Wow.
And he's pointing out these things, so it was absolutely awesome. There's some of the crew there. There's Greg, John, Jolene, and Megan. Joanne. There's Joe. She's going to kill me.
Rightfully so, Rodney.
She's going to hit me with a rock.
Rightfully so.
And then that's all of our lobsters. We're actually here counting them. This is just a ton of lobsters. Greg dropped a lobster in that hole right there. He told me not to tell anybody. I told him his secret is safe with me. He goes, he looks at me, and the lobster went down. Now, I never saw it. So he goes, hey, don't tell anybody, but a lobster I dropped accidentally a lobster down that hole. There's little Miss Sydney. And I said, man, your secret's safe with me, dude. Just as safe. You don't even, I got tight lips. Loose lips sink ships. And Lisa walked up, and I said, hey, Greg dropped a lobster down that hole. He goes, man, I thought it was a secret. I said, it's just us 3 now. We're like a group now.
That's what secrets are for sharing.
Yes. I'm not much for secrets. This fella didn't even. Oh, he was here. He's going to show me how to clean. He's got this special way to clean the lobster. So basically, he just poked it right through the lobster tail. So basically, he just cut the anal cavity there.
Yeah,
that's just
right to it.
There's really no pretty way to say that. And then
he
just pulled out the lobster thing. But anyway, so yeah, he was. My goal is to salvage as much meat out of these little fellas as I absolutely can. And sometimes I leave them whole, clean them whole.
How many total did you guys bring home?
So total, you mean brought home that we didn't eat while we were down there?
Well, yeah. Well, let's start there. Because you obviously cooked them in.
I think we brought home like 40.
Okay.
Between all of us, we cooked some. We cooked like 20 while we were down there. So we may have brought home 45 or something. But we cooked, we made lobster Alfredo. We made broiled lobster. We made lobster ceviche. Ooh. Megan made this lobster ceviche that was, oh my God, dude. We made lobster just about every way.
Well, that's tough because lobster is not something you really do in a ceviche, is it?
No,
typically?
No, not typically.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. You got to let it sit overnight. That's the key to ceviche. You got to let it sit overnight.
Because it kind of cooks with the acids, right?
Yep,
From
that's
the
exactly
lemons.
right. And I was wanting to do a ceviche with the lionfish, but the first night we only had one lionfish.
So I would think that would go well.
Oh, man. The second night we had 4, so we cooked up the 4. So, ton of lionfish down there. You hear the stories all the time. This is the first time in the Keys I actually saw the lionfish. I poked my head under a rock, and, man, there was 4 or 5 lionfish just sitting up at the very top of the cavity. So you could literally reach your hand in for a lobster or something, and these lionfish will get you. They are absolutely these things are invasive, man. They're here. They're here, and they're in 20 feet of water, Mike. We're used to seeing them speared in 90, 95, 80, 90, 60, 80, 90 feet of water. These things are absolutely...
Hey, Rodney, I'll be right back. I got to take this phone call.
I dare you, Mike Coy. Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I think this is our man, Brian Pounds.
What?
You're absolutely right.
Brian, how are you, brother?
I am fantastic, guys. How about y'all?
Very well. I was hoping you'd call because I was going to text you to call because you have an open spot Thursday. So first of all, or do you still have the spot available for Thursday?
It's questionable. I will find out tomorrow afternoon, but it's
It's up in the air. I was going to say let's scream it out on air just in case. Someone I took a long vacation last week, so they won't let me have the time off.
Yeah, y'all caught some bugs, man. That's pretty good times.
We did catch some bugs. So for those of you who don't know, we have Captain Brian Pounds on the line. He's probably one of the top red fishermen out there, and he's got a new endeavor where he's fishing the shorelines out of Cape Canaveral. What are you guys catching right now, Brian?
Well, I hadn't been offshore. We got an upwelling that came in, and some cold water's moved in a little bit. But we're going to probably get back out on the beach next week. But the lagoon's been pretty hot right now. I mean, we're still fishing bait pods. The water's still clean, dingy in certain areas, and just fishing a lot of big finger mullet pods right now. We're catching juvenile tarpon, redfish, black drum, trout. I mean, it's really going off right now. And, the mullet run's going to start kicking in, I'd say, starting next month. So from here on out, it's only going to get better. Then we have the redfish spawn that's getting ready to happen, too. So they're the big reds are starting to group up right now. They're not really in full gear, as we always kind of say. They're sniffing butt right now.
Right.
But they're getting ready to get in full spawn mode, and a couple of us are kind of scratching our head and trying to find out where they're all going to meet up for this spawn. But when it happens, man, it is going to be off the Richter scale.
Now, is this rain going to affect that spawn in any way, you think? Because we've gotten a lot of rain. Is that going to push them one way or another, or is it going to?
You don't know. I mean, from year to year, you don't know. Now, as soon as, they're also going to group up on the beach and they're going to spawn.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have two different offers. And, you can catch the spawn in the river normally. Normally it always happens south of the 405. And between the 405 and the 528 beeline is where it's been like the last 3 years. And there's been, some fish up in Scottsmore, they'll group up, but the majority of the big fish have always been south of the 405 down by the power lines on the east side of the channel. But and they also group up on the beach at the same time. So we're gonna try to hone them in and figure out what's going to be the best. I mean, top water plugs is that's you like top water action.
I do, man. You know me. And I'm going to tell everybody out there right now, if you want to catch one giant redfish, when Brian talks about the spawn on the beach, those redfish are going to be absolute giants. I mean, you're not going to want to miss that. Are you guys going to do the onshore charters for those as well?
We've got quite a few trips booking up for September right now, and I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be too early. But normally right around October, the later part of October, September, October is always when the spawn's kind of really going good. But, it's been a crazy year, as far as the river doesn't have a lot of grass in it right now. There's
Right.
a lot of bad publicity, going on with the media and everything, about everything that's going on with algae blooms and whatnot going over on our coast. But in my opinion, I think, granted, we don't have a lot of grass in the river right now, but the lagoon is super healthy. I mean, we got grass. It's really, it kind of reminds me of the good old days. So, we also have the spawn that goes on in the lagoon. So you got the lagoon, you got the river, you got the beach. We're just going to try to figure out what's going to be best this year.
A lot of our fishermen that watch us are sight fishermen. Lagoon right now on a 1 to 10 for sight fishing. What would you say?
Probably about a 7 to 8.
Okay,
I mean,
wow,
if you get in that clear water, for so many years, that water was so dirty in the lagoon, and personally, I think it made us better fishermen.
I think so. I think
trying
right.
to find these fish. But now that we have that clean water, and you get on these big schools and throw a bait over them, the fish, they see it.
Absolutely.
It's like it's what it used to be. And a light presentation is key right now. But the lagoon right now kind of reminds me of the good old days, the way it used to be.
Now, I don't know if you do a lot of this or you know somebody that does, but the shrimping in the Haulover Canal, how's that right now? Have you heard anything about that?
I don't, Rodney, and
I'm just taking a shot in the dark.
There's 3 things in my life that I have not done, and I'm going to probably embarrass myself on the show. I have never been to the Keys, 1. I have never been scalloping, and I have never been shrimping. You believe that?
Wow.
I have not. Now, hopefully we're trying to plan a trip to go to the Keys. I'm going to do that. Now, I am going scalloping next Saturday over the Crystal River with a guy buddy of mine, Captain Mario Castello, real good friend of mine.
Good.
We're going to do that. And one of these days, I'm going to try this shrimp thing. But what I've always been told for this shrimping, it's 4 days before and 4 days after a full moon is the best. Have you heard that?
That is about the time I heard, and especially on a cold snap. If we get some type of cold snap, or obviously,
yes.
it is what it is. You got what you got when those days come. But they say definitely a cold snap is good.
But I'm gonna try this shrimping thing one of these days. But I'm really intrigued on this the scalloping trip we're going to do next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. My wife and I, Amy, and we got Taco from. JRR, he's going with us, one of his buddies, and my other buddy, Captain Fred Ferris. We're all going to go over there and give it a whirl and see what we can do.
Well, Brian, I hope you get that off your bucket list. And, man, hey, give everybody your phone number out there right now so it's on the internet forever, man, and if they want to book a charter.
Okay. Yeah, give me a shout on my cell. It's 407-702-3643. Or you can catch us on the web at southernfishingchartersfl.com.
Amen, brother. Brian, I can't thank you enough for calling, brother. I hope we get to talk to you next week.
Hey, yes, sir. I'm headed to bed, man. I got to get up in the morning. Fishing.
Get some sleep, my man. Tell Mama we said hey.
All right. You got it. Hey, always a pleasure, guys, and thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Brian.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That's a call I love right there.
Always.
Anytime we can get that fishing report. We just got a question. Is there anyone that ships smoked mullet, craving the hell out of that stuff? Water too muddy in Texas to eat mullet here.
Rodney's got some in his trunk. He can bring it to you.
I tell you what, I used to love smoked mullet. Just absolutely love it. So, man, that was awesome.
You drive it to Texas.
I'll drive it to Texas.
I'll drive. You can navigate.
Oh.
Speaking of navigating.
Stop. I hear you have a new navigation system, Mike.
Waze. Show of hands who uses Waze. W-A-Z-E.
I don't.
Good.
We got one.
Check.
We got a couple.
You got more than a couple.
Okay, yeah.
Behind you
6,
and over
7,
there.
8. Okay, yeah, 9.
Waze is one of the it used to be, Google's probably the king now.
Yeah.
And I've used a lot of them.
Yeah.
I say all of them. I use a lot of them. But Waze is fun.
Yeah.
It's more interactive. There's points, and I don't want to derail this thing, but there's a reason I'm getting to this, and you know why.
I know why.
Because we're taking this gentleman mullet in Texas, and we got to know how to get there.
We got to know how to get there. We need proper direction.
Yes. But they just came out with an update that you can now before they've had voices like Mr. T and fun stuff to navigate. Turn left. I say, pity the fool. Turn left. Whatever.
I got you. Yeah.
Good,
I like how you do. I like your Mr. T there.
So they updated it 2 days ago that you can add your own voice
to
the navigation. And I did it. But the last person I want to hear talk is me.
Right.
The last person most people want to hear talk is me. You know who people love to hear talk?
Who's that, Mike?
Rodney Rogers. It's the voice we've all come to know and love. So Rodney obliged me. He literally walked in the door, and I'm like, stop here. Say this. Say turn right, turn left. Let's go. And he went through this list, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 maybe sayings to turn. And now I have Rodney Rogers.
We'll put our own flair to it.
As the voice on my navigation.
That is awesome.
So, you want to hear something?
Oh, yeah. I want to hear it. If you got it, I want to hear it. Because we didn't get to play it back. We just
started. So, and I'm sorry, but I can't bring this up, but let's just for kicks.
Yes.
For kicks. I'm going to say, hey, take me to work. Let's see if this works. I'll plug this and bring it up. Okay, here we go. Bring it to work and
start driving.
That's good.
Seems like forever, but it's a half a mile. Turn out her window. All right.
Okay. Let's see. So I press let's go. I'll pull that for myself. Well, I guess if I'm sitting here, it's probably not going to be.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Turn out her window. Turn out your window. Hurry up.
But you know what's funny is I know that other people right now are saying I'd love to have that voice
I'd love
too.
to have that voice on the app. $49.95. I will come to your house.
No.
For breakfast.
Better. I can do it better than that.
What
if right now you go to the Rodney Rogers homepage.
Say you didn't do it. You did it.
There's a link on the homepage to Waze and to that file.
No way.
You click on it. You got to download and install Waze first, Android and iPhone.
That is awesome.
Click on it. You can install Rodney's voice. Take Rodney with you as you're going to the grocery store, as you're going fishing, church on Sunday morning.
That is awesome.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's 8:28. I've scheduled a post on Facebook to launch at 8:30, which will also hit all your Facebook followers with a link to said links.
That's why you're the techno guy. I'm not the techno guy.
This happened in the last 45 minutes, did it not, Rodney?
It did, actually. As soon as I walked in the door, he says, hey, come here. You ever seen this Waze? No, and then we're like reading off this. That was actually it was odd.
Have fun. Give us some reports. We'll probably need to redo it after we figure it out. But it was really off the cuff. But I'm sure there's going to be a laugh.
I'm going to download it. That's for sure.
By that,
and I'm going to guide myself home every night. Turn out your window. Turn out her window. Slow down.
I've never heard that phrase before.
You never heard that?
Ah.
My aunt used to say that. Turn out your window. What? Left. That's a left. Aunt Teresa, that's a left.
Okay.
It's not
great.
nobody's window. It's a left.
Great. That's funny.
So, yeah, it was absolutely awesome. So, we got our fishing report.
Love it.
We got our lobster report. You know what? Just a quick shout out if what I call my Miamians, if they're watching tonight, man, awesome people, brother. Absolutely awesome. I can't thank them enough. The hospitality was.
I want to go back and show the last few photos you had, and you sent me a video today that I made sure that we're going to play tonight because I want people to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Nicely done. But here's back looking at the lionfish.
So here we got it. Yeah. Now our the lady that actually speared these was a master diver that was on the boat with us.
Okay.
So she had her spear and she had a lionfish. Now we had extra spears, but I didn't have a lionfish container, which is a zookeeper. You don't want to just go out there willy-nilly spearing lionfish. Yeah. You don't want to have to deal with that thing on the end of a stick.
You don't want to throw them in your bag with the lobsters either.
No, because the lobsters cut me up, so I can imagine.
Wow.
What a lionfish would do. Yeah, definitely. They're there. Careful reaching under the rocks. Sure. These lionfish are there, and that's proof they're there. One of those in that cooler was absolute hoss. It was about 1.5 pound lionfish. It was huge. And I seen some bigger ones down there, so they're there. So if you want to spear lionfish, hit the keys, hit the reefs, 20 feet of water. Get a dive tank and get down there.
But now you clean these and you eat these.
Absolutely. I clean them.
Is this your first lionfish?
It was my absolute first lionfish. First time cleaning it, first time eating it, first time everything.
No apprehensions?
No, not at all, actually.
Who gave you the 101 and the load on on how to do these?
Nobody. I just did it. I'm an outdoorsman. The fish, when I cooked it,
It's in your DNA, isn't it?
It's in my DNA, man. Yeah. So basically what you see here is I just basically gutted the fish, split him open in the gills. The fins were trimmed off. Lemon pepper. I put some sweet peppers in there with some shallots and some capers, and I put him in there to broil. I put him in there for about 10 minutes. Actually, it was about 9 minutes to broil. And then when I opened that thing up, all the vegetables were nice and tender. The fish was absolutely, positively impeccable. Literally one of my favorite fish.
I would like to try. And I got to say, I showed this photo to my mom, and if you think I'm an outdoorsman, my mom sees this. What is that, ants? I cracked up. I said, I'm going to forward that comment on to my good friend Rodney.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. That was before I cooked it. So basically, I did it before and after. You can see here. It's kind of hard to make out. I should have used my flash on it.
Okay, that explains it. Because that one looked prepared as it looks like it's the table setting, but that was before the ants were applied.
Yeah, it was before the ants were applied. But absolutely no apprehensions of cleaning this thing. I mean, I was just, it was a little skittish. You just want to be careful and you want to take your time. That's all.
Okay.
Very delicious. Very happy.
Well, I'm going to try to play this video, see how it rolls here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it. What a video, man. I feel like we should have that music going in the background, man. That just makes you want to go back down to the Keys. Well, I did a video while I was down there, but I wanted to put a little more oomph to it. So I got some more pictures from the group and added in there.
Well, I'll tell you what, my favorite thing is to see people smiling like that. Especially,
absolutely.
I mean, from day one, you can't fake it. And I really,
man, it was.
You see something like that, and I just smiled.
Yeah.
I smiled. Nice job.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you, brother.
Put together by Rodney Rogers himself.
Yeah.
Impressive.
The non-techno genius. So,
I'll take it. It was good.
One quick thing, we did get to see Creature Feature while we were down there. Look that up on YouTube. Captain Stealth? Captain Slate. Captain Slate with Creature Feature. And basically, he grabs moray eels.
No way.
Oh, yeah, dude. He had like 8 moray eels going. Actually, John, we got a picture of a moray eel nipping John's hand, coming up to bite it, and he just barely nipped it. And I mean, took a itty bitty, teeny weeny. Yeah. So I mean, it was freaky. I mean, putting a fish in his mouth, barracuda. I got the video. I forgot to put it in.
Creature Feature. That's what he goes by. That's the deal.
It's Doctor
Zavago.
I just wanted to say Doctor Who because we got to talking about Doctor Who back there. Talk about a flashback, man. My gosh, Doctor Slate, son of a gun. Captain Slate. So yeah, it's absolutely. Look it up on YouTube, man. We got to hang out with him. He's an icon in the Keys. He's ready to pass the torch on though, man.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
been doing this since the 70s. He can do his thing. So man, what do we got time for left, Mike?
Well, I think you know what. The fact of the matter, last couple of weeks we haven't been doing questions
At all.
and we need to catch
Let's do
up
it.
because they're piling up.
I know, man.
I combed through emails yesterday, and there's more. Just so much we need to talk about.
Let's do it.
For now, my friend,
You've got mail.
Letters, we get letters, we get
Stop, whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
On a top flight, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, do you right overnight mail.
I'll take it.
fring, fring, fring,
I like a little
fring,
strum
fring.
at the end.
Ridge Rider 19, Mr. Rogers says.
Come on.
How long? Pertinent question. How long is freshly caught fish good for without freezing it?
If you keep it cool, the key is to get it on ice right away. Now, if you catch one and you don't have ice, it can go a couple hours without ice. Remember, I mean, it takes a while for, fish to go bad. I mean, you can go.
Is this universal or is different types of
it's pretty
different
much-
from a mahi?
No, yeah, I mean, scallops would differ from a mahi. I mean, but scallops, if you don't clean them, remember, they're live.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they stay live for a while. If you just put them in a bucket of water.
But if you've cleaned them on the boat,
you clean them on the boat, yeah, you want to get them on ice as quick as possible. The key is get them on ice as quick as possible. But if you don't have ice right away, don't panic. If you pull a big swordfish on the boat, he'll last an hour and a half, 2 hours before
Sure.
you get back to your boat ramp. So the key is get it on ice as quick as possible. It'll last about 14 days at refrigerated temperature, 40
14
degrees.
days?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
I did not
Yeah,
expect
and
to hear that.
some fish will even go longer. Remember, it's fresh.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You keep it at a good temperature. Well, I'm not 50 degrees. I'm talking in the 40s. Keep it above freezing and just below 42.
Yeah, and it's important because you've worked hard. You've had an experience. I don't know about call it hard work, but maybe it's hard work.
Absolutely.
But you've had the experience of capturing this. Allow yourself that experience of following through
Absolutely.
and fixing a good meal with it because it really puts the icing on the cake.
Yeah, we always cook as much as we can up fresh. So I will move it directly from, the ice. Put it in the bottom of my refrigerator. Last year's lobster, I never freeze lobster. I never freeze lobster. If you don't eat lobster a lot, freeze it.
Sure.
What we did down there is, they have a very good method of, filling a bag up with water and freezing it in water. That's actually a great method. If you're not going to eat it, for a while, it doesn't get freezer burnt. It lasts forever. It's hard to freezer, vacuum pack fresh lobster tails because it poke.
Sure.
So,
but you're saying up to 14 days
I'm saying up to 14
if it's handled and kept properly.
kept at that 40-degree temperature, between 32 and 42 degrees. Don't get it any warmer.
If I just plop it on the counter when I get home, how long?
It's a bad deal. You got about 15 minutes. So yeah, don't panic.
Jason M. from Clewiston, Florida. Am I right?
Clewiston, yep.
Oh, no, I jumped ahead.
that's
Rhonda
Port
B.
St.
Sorry,
Lucie.
I got my cards mixed up here. Rhonda B. from Port St. Lucie said, is there a certain time of the day that is better to top water? Fish top water.
I'll tell you, I'll keep that simple for you. Mornings and evenings. Yes, you can hit fish on top water other points of the days. You can. It's absolutely. Fish dictate what they want. So early mornings, late evenings, that's your best time.
All right.
That's going to be your most productive time. It'll work all day, but those are your most productive.
Okay. I was anxious to get to Rhonda B's question. Where'd it go? I am almost messed up. Jason M., what's wrong?
Do we have a Rhonda B?
I don't know. I've seen
Where
things,
did you
Rodney.
pull up a
I
Rhonda
have
B?
no idea. Jason M. from Clewiston, Florida. I believe that's down south somewhere, mid-state. I noticed the FWC announces hydrilla treatments. Why is this important to me?
Well, it's important for a couple reasons. One is they fly over it with a helicopter and put out the spray. So you don't want to be fishing in that area while they're doing that.
Okay.
You want to be clear of that area. Second of all, once that settles down, while it is fish friendly, it doesn't kill fish, it doesn't do all this, it makes it uncomfortable for fish. So the bite drops off dramatically. So
as a fisherman, do I want hydrilla or do I not want hydrilla?
well, here's the key. In some studies, it shows that fish without any structure in the lake grow on average 15% larger and faster without any structure.
Okay.
They're harder to catch in hydrilla. They'll get huge as well. So it's kind of up in the air. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing. Hydrilla is an invasive species to the state of Florida. It's not natural here.
Okay.
So they want to kill it off. It will choke out a lake. I mean, sometimes I've seen Lake Tahoe look like a football field. You and I have.
Yeah.
Many times. So, obviously, if we can get rid of hydrilla, that's an awesome thing. But it just holds good fishing.
Okay.
But in that cover, the bait fish can hide just as easy as the bass can.
So is there a ratio? I mean, you want some hydrilla, but not
Zero.
overtaking. Oh,
Zero.
Hydrilla.
Yeah.
So hydrilla is bad
Hydrilla, well,
to the health of a lake.
to the health of a lake, it's actually it can choke a lake out, but
Okay.
a little bit of hydrilla can clean it.
Okay.
It filters it, produces oxygen. It's a plant, so
Right.
it's good for the lake in
Right.
general. But there's no stopping it. Once it gets in, it's in, and it'll choke a whole lake out.
Okay.
It'll turn it into a football field.
Okay.
Even fish have a hard time swimming through hydrilla. Once the thick top is there, the bottoms get real thin. The fish can move on the bottom. So,
Well, I actually heard the Super Bowl of 2022 is actually going to be held on Lake Tahoe.
it very well
I think
could
so.
with all that hydrilla.
We got a question from Rhonda B.
Here we go.
Actually, not Rhonda B. Sean P. Says, Kansas City, Missouri. I realize there are no wake zones. Oh, excuse me. I realize. Let me read that again with the quotations
Yeah.
properly aligned.
Let's look at the punctuation.
I realize there are no wake zones, but are there actual speed limits for boats?
Yes, there is actually.
Really?
There are actual speed limits.
Great
for
question.
boats. Yeah, it is a great question. It's more so in the state of Florida because we have manatee zones. We have all these zones, neighborhoods. No wake zones basically keeps the shores from erosion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you go through, kicks up big waves, it'll wash all the dirt out of the rocks and it'll just collapse. So those are just idle zones only. The speed limit zones are mostly in manatee areas. So basically you'll get a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit zone to where you have time to react if you do see a manatee. And a manatee has time to get out of your way.
Okay.
I've known many people get speeding tickets in lakes and Hillsborough and Crystal Rivers.
So you can actually get a speeding
Oh,
ticket.
you bet, man.
Okay.
You bet. They will actually give you a speeding ticket. If it says 20 and your boat has the speedometer,
Wow.
make sure you're sticking in that 20-mile-an-hour range. We want to give manatees time to get down and give you time to react to manatees or other boats.
You know what I always thought no wake zones were?
What's that?
I thought they were so you weren't messing up the fishing for the other people in that area.
No, that's courtesy. That's just the courtesy. Like if I'm zooming in a boat and I'm going down a canal, I'll stop, a quarter mile ahead and idle by and then take off. That's my respect to the other fishermen. A lot of guys just fly by at 70. I've had guys almost knock me off a boat.
But it usually has to do with safety for yourself, safety for
Absolutely.
the wildlife, and potentially conservation, things like erosion. And
yes,
like that.
and it's the width of canal versus reaction time and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into why we have speed limits and all that good stuff. So, yeah, man, absolutely, yeah. So it makes all the sense in the world. So, but yeah, thank you for the question.
Good question.
Did you ever find Rhonda B's question?
I don't know who she is.
I don't even know where you got Rhonda B.
That's strange.
Mr. C, Rhonda B from Mr.
Yeah.
C. So there you have that. That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions.
I have been very. You know what? The other day we had a raccoon outside of our door, like literally right outside
what?
the door. A raccoon?
We have one there,
We-
raccoons.
We've had this conversation before, have we not?
We call it a raccoon.
Raccoon?
A raccoon.
Raccoon.
A raccoon.
Up north there. Up
Northern.
north it's raccoon.
Yeah, that's because you guys got raccoons. Down here, they're raccoons. They skinny as rats. I mean, there's little fellers. Up there, they're raccoons.
And it was funny because he was out there like 40 minutes and engaging him. And I take stock in the wildlife wherever I'm at, even if I'm
Right.
at work and it's out my window.
I
But
got
it was entertaining. Of course, raccoons
Yeah.
are always very entertaining.
Yeah.
And somebody made the joke. He's asking, "Are you my mother?" Remember that book? Are you my mother?
I do.
And what was ironic is that same night I went over to my parents for dinner, And as we're eating the cranberry and walnut salad, my mom tells me that she's not my mother. But my mom can make some good coffee.
That was awesome.
I mean, she makes good coffee, but the mother thing really threw me.
Yeah. That should have.
But I convinced her that she was.
Okay.
So we're all good.
Okay.
We're all good. But my dad had some photos, and we started digging through, and the nostalgia started kicking in.
Right.
But I started thinking on childhood books, because
Yes.
we were looking back on Are You My Mother and things like that, and I actually reached out to you.
You did?
I did.
Yep.
And I asked you, Rodney,
What was your favorite book?
what was your favorite book?
Well, that was kind of obvious for me, I think. Most people would be obvious. So
Hold that
Okay,
thought for a
hold the
second,
thought.
because I might actually want to guess what that is here. Oh, there's Are You My Mother? Are You My Mother?
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Do you remember any of the words from there?
I do not.
Really?
I remember he's walking around and he's talking to the cow.
Are
to
you
the
my mother? He
pig.
said to the cow.
Right.
How could I be your mother? Said the cow. I am a cow.
Yes.
I mean, the writing on these things.
Yes. But brilliant writing.
But I want to give people time to think about what Rodney's might have been, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
And of course, one fish, two fish, red fish.
That was my favorite book.
And it's amazing when you start looking back on childhood books that they're all. Dr. Seuss played a big part.
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
and everybody.
So if this was your favorite book, Rodney, any of the lyrics you can spout off to us?
Probably not. It's been a while. I've not read this book probably in 40 years.
How about what?
Can you tell me when that book was written?
I'm guessing. Well, it's got to be 66.
How about 1960?
What, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but I love reading these because I think we don't get enough culture in our show sometimes.
You're right.
Yes. Yes, some are red and some are blue. Some are old, some are new. Some are sad, some are glad. Some are very, very bad.
I was that fish. I was a very, very bad fish.
You're the one getting whacked upside the head. That must be
Yes.
your mama. Rodney, get outside and stay. Why are they sad and glad and bad? I do not know. Go ask your dad.
Yes.
Right?
Dr. Seuss is the man.
Here is my favorite one.
This one was your favorite?
Oh, the places you'll go. You know, it was optimistic.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if I ever read this one.
It's a more recent one. It's probably
Okay.
in the 70s, I would bet.
Okay.
But you're up on you'll be on your way. You'll be seeing new great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. And I guess the pilot paid in. But that's optimistic and going places. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remember this
yeah.
one? Do you remember this one?
Oh, yes.
Go
Yes.
Dogs Go. If you have not read Go Dogs Go, go right now and
Go Dogs.
go to your kids' room.
Yes. Go to your kids' room and get
This was the
Yes, I remember
the
this.
ending scene. I don't want to give it all away because people are rushing right now. You know, I mean, I want to.
Spoiler
But
alert.
yeah, if you like dogs and you like going,
Go Dogs. Go.
this is a must read.
This is a must read.
This is a must read. But Rodney,
Uh-oh.
I've been digging.
There's some...
There's more.
I knew you were up to something, Mike Coy.
Oh, it's been a while. I've been digging. There's some other nostalgic books that have slipped through my cracks, and you know I don't like things.
You don't like the old crack slippage.
I don't think
know you.
like things slipping.
I'm dying to hear these books, Mike.
All right,
Are these the unread books of
they are.
the outdoors?
Did you read the one of the little engine that literally can't even?
No.
Oh my gosh!
Never read that.
I think I missed that one 100%.
That's a
Do
good
you remember
one.
the Bernstein Bears?
I do remember the Bernstein.
How about this one? Go Get the Belt.
That was
Right?
that. I read that book. That book I've read.
You starred in that book. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I was all over that book.
How about? Well, see, here's somebody else who liked my book, but this was a different. Must have been volume 2. It's all called "Oh, the People You'll Get Your Hopes Up Over."
Yes. I've been in that one. I think I starred in that book.
But I think in the late 60s they started getting a little bit weird with if you give a cyclops a kitten. I did not read that one.
I do want to read that though.
But I do recall this next one being in my room somewhere. I remember this one. Stories about Kenny Loggins.
Oh, this is not good. You know, messing with the man now, dog. This is gonna get somebody hurt right
Let's
here.
get away. Here's one. Here's one little more sentimental. Can you still breathe, Grandma? That one was. I love it. Buy this book before it's banned.
Yes.
Yes. And bad little children's books. Like, that was a good collection.
I wonder where Grandma went. That's.
But here's a little more more outdoorsy. Hey, the forest where gravity didn't affect cats. That was. I missed that one.
I missed that one because I've seen a lot of the Hardy Boys specials.
But I especially like the books that are a little more family oriented. Like, learn about spitting on cakes. Did you learn that one, or that came natural?
I think it came natural.
Yeah.
That one kind of came natural.
Some books were a little more just educational.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Like Sesame Street. You remember Sesame Street?
Oh, man, who don't remember Sesame
You remember
Street,
this one?
man?
Big Bird learns a gang sign. That was.
I'm not sure that one was a book. That's. My God, that was a little suspicious. I used to love Big Bird, so I'm seeing Big Bird as.
And I think this action one is either before my time or probably after my time. But
Yes.
Watch Me Feed the Squirrel Ambien. That was actually a really. I think it was a bestseller.
I know. I've seen this one. I haven't read it, but I know I've seen that in the library. Oh,
sorry, Rodney.
I love those.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Nostalgic old books. I wasn't sure what to expect out of you, Michael.
I am nostalgic. Are you nostalgic?
I am.
I am
very nostalgic. Hey, you know what? I like looking at the old pictures.
Yeah.
And now they're old pictures. Now, I'll tell you what I like that Kelly did, our friends in Miami. She has these boards since they lived in this house of all the things they've done, throughout the year. I'm just merely speculating. But she printed the pictures out and posted them, actual pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where now we got them on iPads and iPhones and all this stuff, but she's actually printed out, each picture remembers, is a memory.
Rodney, if you'll excuse me, I have to step away and take this call.
You got it, man. Let's take it. This guy better be bragging about what he caught in Michigan. Can you hear me? Oh, man. Hello.
What galaxy are you in? That's the first
he's
question.
on planet Dorkle.
Hey, Dorkle, call us back.
Call us back.
Call us back one time.
Hurry up. We got a few minutes. So she actually prints the pictures and puts them on a board. So they've been in this house for 4 years. So she has, 4 of these huge boards in their game room. It's just, it's a brilliant idea. They're all just, there's just no random. They're just, pictures of fish and just things that they did. Let's try this again. Let's see if we can hear him this time. Hello. Can you hear me, Hector?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you go. We got you now. You were all broke up. What's up, my man?
Not much. We're just getting off the lake now.
So how'd you do? You got your first smallmouth?
I caught a bass, but it wasn't a smallmouth.
No,
really?
Man. He caught his first pike today.
Northern?
He's in Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I caught that pike, too.
So we got his first northern pike out of the way and his first northern largemouth bass.
Okay.
Is that what it was, the largemouth?
I got the video. Yeah, it was a largemouth. I got the video for you. I'll post it up tonight.
Okay, cool. We'll check it out. So real quick, before we run out of show, 1 to 10, how tough is it looking for smallmouth bass?
It's, I'm going to say about a 9.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Okay. Yeah, the way you see people catch them up there, we swear it's going to be easier. And I think we've been spoiled with the state of Florida.
Yeah. I mean, you need a tiny hook because their mouth is.
You got to have an itty bitty hook.
It's not like you ride around and go to the next pond and you catch a 7-pounder out of there. It's not like that.
No, this is a big deal. Well, dang it, man! What's your plan for tomorrow?
Fishing.
Okay. As long as you got a plan, man. It all starts with a plan.
Fishing every day until I get it. I'm fishing every day until I get one.
Okay. Well, I wanted to get an update from you tonight. So, man, I appreciate you calling, brother.
Yeah, man. No problem.
So I'm gonna be glued to your Facebook. Good luck tomorrow, my man.
All right, thanks.
You got
I'll
it,
see
brother.
you guys.
All right, bye-bye. So
HP Hollow Point.
HP Hollow Point. Check him out on Facebook. Check him out on, my gosh, you can find him on his YouTube channel, Hollow Point HP.
I need to get a lower third for him so we can.
Yeah, so he's up in Michigan right now trying to catch smallmouth bass. I apologize.
No, that's great. It's snowing up there right now, isn't it?
It should be, man. It's Michigan. It's always doing something up there. So anyway.
I didn't know there was largemouth bass in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's largemouth bass, and I think the only state it's not in is Hawaii.
Did not know that.
Yep. That's the only state that
I did not know that.
There might not be none in Alaska. It might be those two. I know it's just about in every state.
I've caught a northern pike.
Have you?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think I was middle school. I was 7th grade.
Oh, I'll be dang. Nice. You got a
I
picture?
don't even, yeah, I do. That's the only reason I know, because I have a picture.
Oh, you don't remember the event.
I don't remember much about it. Yeah.
Oh, we need to post that picture. Speaking of nostalgia, we need to post that picture.
Yeah.
We need a picture board. So, but anyway, man, yeah. So Kelly puts a picture of something that I think it's a neat thing to do. So I think
it's tangible.
Yeah.
There's something about
yeah,
that.
and someone can go there and find themselves on her board and
something about
yeah.
There's something about holding the photograph. My aunt had sent my dad a stack of photographs. So we sat there on the couch for literally an hour.
Wow.
As he one by one handed it to me. Which my mom's like, just hand him the stack, and I'm looking.
Yeah.
No, this is working perfectly, and it maybe because
absolutely
that one photo got attention. You
Yeah.
know, and we asked questions and we dug into it. Who is that? And I was intrigued and like,
now's the time.
yeah, it's like, some just rare moments, you know?
Because I've got photos that I need to sit down with my mom and go, who is this?
You know,
What,
yeah.
What was going on here?
Try and explain I remember growing up having a box. It was probably this big, but it felt
yeah.
All these photos just thrown in, and every time as we grew up, we want to go to mom's and bring out, and we'd just go through that photo box.
Yeah.
Look on the back, and it would say Bob and Janet and Marie and the names of who was on it. And I was trying to explain, Mom, metadata. And today in the world of digital and everything's on the computer, and you tag people. I was showing on Facebook how you tag there's Rodney's face. You click on, you can put Rodney Rogers, and the concept is. But I said, Mom, it's the same thing. Turn a picture over and write in Rodney on the back of that photo.
Absolutely,
it's the same thing. But if you could have that box of photos and say, hey, box, show me all the photos of Rodney, and they rise to the top.
Yeah.
That's what you have access to these days.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a great analogy. Yeah. That's perfect. That's exactly right.
So, anyways, but tangible. I love the fact of them putting it on the wall like that. It's a great idea.
It is, man. So I'm gonna start doing that. You know. Because, like I said, I was making fun of selfies of my daughter, and here I am got 900,000 selfies, and I know we're out of time.
Let me show you this.
We're zipped up.
Can I show you this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's it at? Going up and over your shoulder and cut to this camera.
Oh, yeah.
There's a photo. You can't really see it, but there's a photo of my dad sitting on a wing of an F-86 fighter.
Oh, wow. Is he a pilot?
No, but he was an avionics engineer.
Okay, gotcha.
So he was...
that would be where you'd go, yeah, he shot down 99-0.
I could lie, but now he's a pastor, and that would get me in double trouble.
You've already got us in enough trouble. You've already, with Willy Wonka over there. You've already got us skating on thin ice tonight.
But photos, there's nothing like it.
I
mean, but nostalgia, and you know what the key is to remember that the moments you're having right now.
Absolutely.
The moments you had last weekend in the Keys with the family and the friends and the new people. These are the moments you hold on to, because that's that photograph that you turn it over and you write Joanne or Joanne or Jayanne, whatever. You'll have to figure that out.
Thank you for bringing
that.
Yeah. Appreciate it. For bringing that up, getting me in trouble again.
I'm here for you, dog.
I appreciate it. Mike, our 1 hour vacation is over.
Hey, if you guys are driving tonight, go on and download Waze and go to the Rodney Rogers Outdoor homepage. Yeah. Click the voice of Rodney Rogers. He'll get you there safely.
And
probably with a laugh or two.
Willie White was saying Mike Mulligan and the steam shovel made him a heavy equipment operator today. Yeah, isn't that something? He read a little book and fell in love with heavy equipment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I thought today he just got his certificate. No. And we were supposed to. I thought he had the wrong podcast for a second. I'm like,
Good job, Willie. We need to get you some smoked mullet, bro.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
download. I'm gonna download the Waze and I'm gonna put it in there.
Is he the one in Texas we're going to see?
He's the one in Texas.
All right.
And I'm gonna guide us into him.
Keep the doors open. It's probably be late before we get there,
it's
Willie.
gonna be late next
And the
year.
mullet might be stinking.
Mullet might be stinky mullet. Stinky mullet. We got to go catch some mullet first. Mike, you got anything? We got anything coming up? Don't forget the camper trip. We're going to have way more details on that coming up.
It's only getting better, Rodney.
It's only getting better, Mike.
I promise you it's only getting
moly.
better.
I got nothing.
Now we got to get out of here and get some mullet to Texas.
Thanks to all the new friends we've made this week. Absolutely cherish each and every one of you. Thanks for letting me hang out and letting me be a part of your world. And as my mama said 18 gazillion times, and I pray I get to say it half as much because you know how much I love my mama. You kids get outside and stay.